Hello everybody and welcome to Dust Covers for Wanderlust and my first ever wrap-up. So this is my June wrap-up review to go over the novels that I have read this past month, to give you my thoughts, opinions, and recommendations for the 4 novels I was able to complete this past June 2017. So I was able to complete 4 books this month, and the first one that I'm going to be talking about is from an indie author, Ashley McLeo, called Prophecy of 3. It was a very well-written novel about 3 witches. I was lucky enough to get an advanced reader's copy of it. I do know her on Twitter, and I'll put all of her information below so you can find her as well and links to her novel. The book was fantastic. I really enjoyed the way that she wrote and the way that her story developed. I gave it a 4-star review on Goodreads, which I'll also put in the info section below as well. 3 young girls who are put up for adoption as infants, and now that they are older, they are being requested to come across seas and meet their family that gave them up for adoption, to meet their birth mother. When they arrive, there are 3 girls that have never met each other before, and they have no idea what is waiting for them on the other side. They'd never heard stories or anything about their families, and they're definitely in for a shock. The whole story, the first one in this series, the Starseed series, I'm pretty sure I got that right. Yeah, the Starseed's trilogy. They discover that they are born with this prophecy, and they are witches. They are born into a family of witches, and each one has a special power and that they are learning how to use to defend themselves and how to strengthen and control. So it's really fun. Each girl is very different from the other. So it's easy to see that Ashley was able to create 3 different characters for 3 different people, so everybody has someone that they can relate to, and not even with just the sisters, but with the aunts and the rest of the family as well. There's someone you can relate to in one way or another. They all come from different backgrounds and different ways of life. They all have different personalities, but she does a great job building their relationships with each other, and I really enjoyed that part of it. So again, that was Ashley McLeo, Prophecy of 3, and I definitely recommend it. Like I said, my Goodreads review will be linked in the comment section below. So the next book that I read was New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson. I posted about this book a ton as I was reading it. It was actually in my Owl Crate as a bonus book this month. We all got in the Make It Out Alive themed box for Owl Crate. I'd never heard of this author before. I knew nothing about her. I'd never heard of the novel, but immediately I read the back of the book, which, we all do. And I was completely excited to start reading it. I actually didn't even pick up the actual Owl Crate Book of the Month book. I ended up just putting it on the shelf because I was so excited to read this one. I know I've talked about it before on my Instagram if you are there. I'm at jjulian.25. You're welcome to find me on there, my bookstagram. I posted some videos of the book itself, because as soon as you open the book, you are welcomed with this beautiful sketch of a map of like the city, and then the next page, few pages are sketches of like the tribes that this world is split into. So this world that Phoenix, the main character, is living in, it's a dystopian novel. Let me take a breath here and talk about it. It's a dystopian novel, and it follows this girl named Phoenix who is living on her own after being abandoned. Well, not abandoned. Her parents died, so she's left to live on her own at a very young age, and she has to learn how to survive in this world that is completely destroyed and broken up into these different tribes, and they're very savage, and some of them are very methodical, some of them are very animalistic. And she has to try to keep her humanity through this world that has lost all hope for the human race, pretty much. She gets abducted by I wouldn't call them a tribe, but another segment within this world that she's living in, and they want to know everything that she knows. Without giving too much away, because I don't want to give out too many details because it will kind of ruin the story. She ends up siding with this new group that she has been aligned with to try and break into another segment that they're trying to destroy to realign everybody. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. But anyways, all the tribes are out for each other. They're all fighting. So the novel moves very quickly as she is coming in contact with these different people. And she's still very young, so you kind of feel that innocence within her. And then there's a young character that gets introduced, even younger, character that gets introduced that you're just like, ooh, precious little thing. And you just feel so bad for them because of this world that they got left in. My favorite part of the novel was actually the ending and how it looped and connected back to the beginning story in a new way. I don't want to give away what that is or the ending of the novel, so I'm going to leave it at that. I definitely recommend this novel. I give it a 4-star review on Goodreads, which I will put in the information section below as well, so you can read my review and get more information. But this is the first in the series, New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson. So the final 2 books that I read during the month of June are part of the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. Now, these books had a huge hype behind them, a lot of really great reviews, and I watched a lot of videos that were reviewing the novels and the series in and of itself, and about how amazing they were. Now, I've had the entire box set on my shelves for quite a while and never got around to reading them. So I've slowly been making my way through them, and finally in June I was able to finish the entire series. I read number 4, City of Fallen Angels, and 5, City of Lost Souls in the month of June. And I'm going to say it really they weren't my favorite. The series as a whole is very well done for the most part. I definitely did not give them 5 stars whatsoever. Some books I gave 3, some books I gave 4. They weren't horrible by any means, but I just found that after the first villain is kind of destroyed, that is where the first series should have ended, and maybe should have picked up on a secondary series for the next kind of bad guy that they come in contact with. Even though they're all kind of linked together, you follow the same characters. It's about the same, like almost the exact same time. There's not a lot of time that passes between one novel and the next. They pick up right after each other. I still feel like there was a slight disconnect there that I didn't like very much. The whole romance between the main characters and the secondary characters, I got kind of bored with after a while. 5 full entire books of characters developing relationships and falling in love with each other and learning who they are and what they want, and that's great. Yay for you. But we all know what happens in relationships. Some of them, I think, moved really quickly. Some of them moved a little too slow. They are teenagers, for heaven's sakes, so I feel like that was a little bit... But I definitely would still recommend the series. I really enjoyed like the fight scenes and all the runes that Clary comes up with, and the way that she has developed definitely through the novel. She is the main character if you never read them before. It just didn't... I'm not fangirling over them, that's for sure, but I would definitely recommend them. Again, I did review all 5 of them on Goodreads, so I'll definitely link all those below for you so you can read them in its entirety. But for the most part, they were just meh. They were just meh. They weren't horrible. They weren't my favorite. I definitely probably will put them on my shelves and reread them again eventually, but not anytime soon, unfortunately, and that's just because I do have a really big to-be-read list that I need to actually get to. But, Cassandra Clare, a lot of her books are... she's a great author. There's nothing against her. I did just start reading the Infernal Devices, which I've never again, I got them at the same time I got the Mortal Instruments, so they'd just been sitting on my shelves. They're very dusty. And I just started book 1. But I do know that she has some new books that came out, and I have not actually looked into them yet, but I'm hoping that they're a continuation of the Mortal Instruments story, because I feel like the ending of this whole series was bad. And not bad in the sense like it was badly written. It was bad because it just ended and it left me with so many questions, and I didn't understand why it ended right there, and why I needed more information, and I wanted a better ending. If this was definitely the end of the series, then I needed more of a closure. If she's continuing with it and these new ones that are coming out, then yay, I'm excited. I'll continue to read them and see how the story develops. But where it was left off, I was very disappointed, because I think that that's the end and that's it, and I'm just like, I don't know. That's it for my June wrap up. Again, I read Prophecy of 3 by Ashley McLeo, New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson, City of Fallen Angels, and City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, all of which you will be able to refer back to in the info section. As always, if you are enjoying my videos, please make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing, and also find me elsewhere. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all of which you can find again in that lovely information box below. I'd love to hear your feedback and follow you back if you come and follow me. Alright, everybody, I will see you at the end of July for my July wrap-up, which hopefully is a little better than my June one. But as always, have a great weekend.